I thought today's project would be a fun little one for Christmas, especially to leave for coworkers, etc. So what I've got, I obviously got out my Big Shot, surprise, surprise, and I have got out the Bigz Snow Flurry die, which is one of my favorites this year. I've got out a piece of the silver Glimmer paper, and I've cut it down to size. It's not white. There you go. There's the Glimmer. This is the same Glimmer that you'll find everywhere in my house now. And I'm just going to crank that through. So that I've got this little piece here. The next thing I've got is the Chock Full of Cheer stamp set, and I'm just going to grab the little mitten image that's in it. And today I'm going to use my Gumball green and cherry cobbler markers. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to color my stamp, and I'm going to use that wide end. Try not to use the tip of your marker when you're coloring. I find that if I do, you break down that tip of your marker. Now make sure you huff on it before you stamp, just in case it was drying out as you were stamping, and you'll see by not necessarily coloring on the lines, it looks a bit more like it was knit. Now I'm going to use my 1 3/4 inch circle punch, and I'm going to punch that little guy out. And I'm going to use my 2 3/8 of an inch scallop punch, and I'm going to get 2 of those. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to put this together. So I've got these little Pearson's mint patties. They come in a huge container at Costco here in Canada. Not sure about the US. And then on the other side, I'll do the same idea, except on this side, I think what I'd like to do is I'm going to use a dimensional, and I'm going to pop up that little snowflake. Then I'm going to use my Cherry Cobbler Classic Stamp Pad with the Hostess Mix Medley set that I used the other day for the candy wrapper die. One of those. And then I've got my little 3/4 inch punch circle again. And then, as I think I mentioned before, I find that using dimensionals or or snail on the Glimmer paper doesn't work all that well. So I'm just going to actually steal a couple glue dots and stick those onto my snowflake. Then I'm actually just going to use some snail on the insides of these, and trying to decide, do I offset or do I match up? Okay, way too much of an uptight person to offset. There we go. Now the final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of, it was called the Gumball green, and it was that awesome yarn that was in the mini. It's called Sweater Trim Ribbon. And what I'm going to do is I want to turn this into almost like a little hanging ornament. So when I looked at it, it's a bit too thick inside just to go around once. So I took mine around twice on the inside. And then what I'm going to do is going to try and make sure that I get it as even as possible towards the top. Is I'm going to put one little knot down low, and hide it inside, and then I'll take my second one and I will just top, just like that. And you've got a fun little hanging ornament that's got a treat inside. And as a final touch there, all I did was I took some of the Cherry Cobbler Scalloped Tulle ribbon and I just tied a little piece on the top to kind of give it the look of a little bow. I hope you enjoy.